Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. We have Bachelor Alumni reacting to the Roe versus Wade bombshell. The Supreme Court has voted to overturn abortion rights, and they draft an opinion, which has been leaked, which almost never happens to the public. And Bachelor Alumni are speaking out about it, along with the rest of the country. We do live in a country where a majority, I believe it's up to 60+% of people, believe that women should have the right to choose, which is a very difficult decision to make. Now, hold on a second. You're allowed to disagree with me, but hear me out. Now, people go, oh, this is we talk Bachelor News. Why are we discussing this? Why are we discussing politics? If someone's body and what they do with it, and if tough decisions that have to be made are political, then that's what it is. But it's more than a political issue. It's a human rights issue. It's a women's rights issue. It's an issue of a bunch of people, or I should say very few amount of people, the Supreme Court deciding to overturn what has been held up for decades to be you know what, I'll get right into it and we'll talk about all the details. But I've got what Bachelor Alumni are saying. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals. Private membership only content, patreon.com/Dave Neal. I'll be going live on my Patreon later today. I'm doing Demi Burnett's podcast later this morning. Very interested to hear her thoughts on all of this because we haven't heard yet from her. Although I think she did post on Instagram. We'll find that in a second. So Politico releases this just bombshell report that they authenticated, I guess, some documents that showed that this opinion that the Supreme Court has come up with as a draft, which probably won't change, shows that they're going to overturn the Roe versus Wade. Now, what is Roe versus Wade? It's a landmark decision of the U.S. Supreme Court in which the court ruled that the Constitution of the United States protects a pregnant woman's liberty to choose to have an abortion without excessive government restriction. The decision struck down many U.S. federal and state abortion laws. So that's what the problem is within our country. We have all these different laws, state laws here. You got Texas, you got Alabama, you got Florida, California. We're all over the map, you know. We are the United States, but the only thing united is our name, right? We're just all over the map with things. And for decades, Mitch McConnell and others have tried to get Supreme Court justices that will overturn this ruling. Going so far as to spend literal years with Democratic presidents sort of, you know, just kicking the can down the road, waiting for a Republican so that they can nominate a Republican. And of course, Roe versus Wade is the number one issue when it comes to Supreme Court justice, what they ask. And in most Supreme Court justices, as they've shown in the videos, have said, hey, that's the law and we're not going to overturn it. And they are about to do just that. So Deandra posted this: forced birth in a country with the highest maternal mortality rate, no paid maternity leave, no universal subsidized childcare, no continued birth parent care, and frequently inaccessible mental health care. I am not a scholar of the Constitution. I'm a bloke with a YouTube channel. So I don't know the complexities of how the Supreme Court is breaking down the Constitution and whether or not this should withstand and all that. I'm not an expert there. But what I will say is this: we continue to vote against the rights of the majority of Americans. The rights being universal health care. Oh, but our taxes will go up. We spend more in health care than any other first world nation. That's a fact. And we get the least amount out of that. So we're already spending all the money. It's going to corporate lobbyists. We'll get into, we need it. This isn't a day where and it's not that we're not proud to be an American and play this song. It's not that. It's that as Americans, there's a lot of people that are very, very upset. And as a democracy, they're going to make their voices heard. Tammy retweeted what Ethan Klein said: women are official second-class citizens in America now with Roe versus Wade overturned. The very basic right to control your body is lost. It's a scary time to be a woman in America, and I'll support you with everything I can. Now, I like to talk about these issues without bringing fear into it, but what you'll see is a lot of people will be like, including former presidents, say, oh, they just want to rip the baby out of the, and again, you know, horrifying fear-mongering to say what is already a very difficult and complicated decision. And economically speaking, many people live in a world where they can't afford to raise a child properly. And this overturning of Roe versus Wade will affect lower middle class, lower class. Anybody with any amounts of money will be able to get an abortion if they want to, including senators, getting abortions for their mistress. I mean, all these things are possible and will continue to happen. It's the people that can't afford to cross state lines, can't afford to, and then the question becomes this: if we truly have moral issues, which a lot of people do, with the idea of an abortion, why are we not better funding preventing pregnancies in the first place? Why are we not better funding public health care in Planned Parenthood? I mean, I have family that don't understand the Hyde Amendment, that don't understand that abortions within Planned Parenthood are privately raised money, and they go, I don't want to support, my tax money is not going to go to support. It doesn't. Your tax money goes to support pap smears. So, so that young women who can't afford health care are able to go get checked up or get an STD test or all these other things. And it's a real crime that our education isn't up to where it needs to be to understand all these complicated issues. Now, doctors sign the Hippocratic Oath, right? Do no harm. Do no harm. That's the oath they take. I trust doctors in medicine, and I trust in their ability, for the most part, to navigate complicated scenarios and not have, our politicians do that. And that's kind of where we're at. Other comments. Olivia Caridi, our good friend Olivia, liked AOC saying people elected Democrats precisely so we could lead in perilous moments like these to codify Roe, hold corrupt accountable, and have a president who uses his legal authority to break through congressional gridlock on items from student debt to eliminate. It's high time we do that. The darkest part of living in a nation hell-bent on forced birth is that it simultaneously is a nation utterly disinterested in supporting children and parents once those fetuses become living, breathing humans. Of course, that's right. If a fetus is considered a human, we would want to take care of that at the time of birth. But it's really more of a moral issue people have. And I don't think enough people are doing the work, where it comes to actually helping those humans that exist right now within our country. Is this divisive or is this common sense? It feels like common sense to me. Jill posted this, which I believe was liked by, let's see here. I'm trying to read this. This hashtag Roe versus Wade news dropping during this Gilded Age themed Met Gala is pretty dystopian. Absolutely. Ethan Gale likes, you cannot eliminate abortions. You can only eliminate safe abortions. Again, that's true as well. There's going to be some tragic incidents happening. And there's plenty of networks of hospitals that exist that are hard-nosed or very conservative in their viewpoint of what an abortion is. And there's plenty of people that can't get what would be removal of a miscarriage because that's considered an abortion. And plenty of people die of sepsis and other issues. It's not wrong what Deandra had said earlier in that African-American women in our country, when giving birth, have a higher mortality rate than all other first world countries. It is a tragedy what is happening in the land of the free, land of the great, whatever you want to call where we are. And most people agree that women should have the right to choose what to do with their body up until an extent. Most people agree up until a certain point in time. And there's always going to be an arbitrary point in time. Well, if it's a baby at 2 semesters, well, what about 1 day early? There's always going to be, where do you draw the line? Well, I don't know. Where do you draw the line with throwing your seed? You know what I mean? Where do you draw the line with so it's like how far down the pipeline do we go here? But the point being, most people say this, and this is what's interesting to me. Most people say, hey, I'm not most people, but people that are pro-life say, I'm pro-life. But if you want to do what you want to do with your body, then go ahead and do it. I don't care if you have an abortion, but I'm pro-life. And the response to that is, no, that means you're pro-choice. It's not about that you'll have an abortion. It's about that somebody else has the right to do that and has the right to decide what they want to do with their body, whether it be in extreme circumstances due to rape or whatever it may be, or whether it just be because economically speaking, they don't live in a world where they're able to provide for a child. And do we need more people in our world right now that aren't able to provide for their family? I mean, we live in a rough time. So Informed posted, in a country that offers no universal... Okay, I think we already shared that. And that was liked, I believe, by Caitlin Bristow. There it is, liked by Caitlin Bristow. About 6 in 10 Americans say abortion should be legal in all or most cases. It's a difficult and complicated scenario. Most people don't say it should be illegal. Go ahead, most people aren't proud. It's a very tough decision. You're going to get PTSD. There's post-abortion, of course, there's so many issues that come with it. Absolutely. I could only imagine. But with that said, it's still a decision that is not made lightly. And, So anyway, this was last night at the Supreme Court.
My body! My body! My body! My body!
Judge Alito is the one who formed the opinion on the overturning of Roe versus Wade. So this is Real News, No Bullshit is the name of an account that is pretty popular. 500,000 followers here. They post some like real stuff, real on the boots. So here you got protesters on both sides of the issue. And I always hate it when there's masked people just because that you don't know if someone's an agitator. I hate all this. Not to say that there won't be violence spilling into the streets over this. There will be. But you never know who's working for what side. And also, a lot of times, it's been proven. This always sounds conspiratorial, but it's been proven that sometimes there'll be like paid agitators that'll be there because as soon as a fight breaks out, then the police can come in. And, they put barricades last night around the Supreme Court. This is the world we live in. And some people, and I get it, live on your cul-de-sac and don't want to hear about it. You've already had your kids. This isn't your issues. But this is America's issue. I don't know what this is. All right, so there it is. Freedom is cool, says I'm just Zach. Freedom is cool. The freedom to voice our opinions, the freedom to have our platform, but unfortunately not the freedom to decide about the future well-being of your body and your family. Demi Burnett just posted the craziest thing about the Met Gala outfits is the fact that the Supreme Court is literally overturning Roe versus Wade as we speak. Is it dystopian? Maybe. Is it futuristic? Maybe. Is it happening today? Absolutely. I'd love to know what you guys think about this. Keep an open mind, be respectful, and understand that your voice does matter. And there will be something that happens this fall with the election cycle in response to this from people that are on one side of the issue or another that are going to rally and say no, or they'll say yes, and we'll see what country we live in. More coming my way. We'll see you guys in a little bit. I'll be on patreon.com/Dave Neal after my interview that I do with Demi to tell you how it goes. We'll talk then. Be nice, be kind. I'll talk to you guys in the comment section. Bye, everybody.